T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's up? What's good? What's happening? We are live up in this thing. Live up in this thing.
We live up in these streets. Hey, what's up, y'all?
Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome to the King M.E show. I am King.
And I am me. It's Michelle. Hey, y'all. Hey.
You know, we are coming to y'all on an interesting day, as about 22 years ago, there was... hold on.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
You're good. Go ahead. Don't pay me no attention.
All right. But if I don't, then you know what? Never mind. 22 years ago, there was a tragedy that struck the nation that Michelle and I live in. If you are old enough, then you understand the impact of what occurred and what happened during September 11, 2001. I can tell you that I was a senior in high school in a class, sleep, but I had just finished my exam and earned the right to be asleep. I ain't gonna say earn the right. You don't earn a right to be asleep.
I don't think you ever told me you were asleep
yes.
at that time.
Oh, I was knocked out.
Man.
I was knocked out. So when people started to be upset and worried, I was trying to figure out what was going on. I was awakened from that sleep, trying to process what was happening, because as they turned on the TVs, I was like, wait, is this real? Is this really happening?
Okay.
So most people around, I probably say if you were born in 1986 and above, maybe 88 and above, you understand the impact of what this day means and how it affected us as a nation. How about you?
So for me, you know, I'm a teacher, and it hit me late last night that because I didn't go immediately into teaching, and because I only teach high school, I will never, unless I teach adults, I will never teach anyone who was alive, like even born during 9/11 when it initially happened. So I processed that. And today I had first block planning. When my second block class came in, it was almost 9 o'clock. And I remember it hit me like a ton of bricks as my students were coming in and they were sitting. It hit me that, wait a minute, 22 years ago, this exact time, I was doing the same thing. I was transitioning from one class to another. I was transitioning from PE, which was down and outstairs, and I was coming upstairs to my 10th grade English class, Miss Luxemburger's class. And I remember walking in, and there were hardly any people in her classroom because it was still the transition time, and her television was on, and I literally saw, I didn't know if it was a television show or what was happening, but I saw an airplane flying to the building, and I remember thinking, man, that's a really bad pilot. Like, you just having an off day. And then we kept watching, and I realized, oh, okay, no, that wasn't what I thought it was. And I just remember being completely devastated. I mean, I was in Baltimore at the time, so I was a Baltimore resident. So when this happened, I'm like, wait, that's New York. And then stuff started happening at the Pentagon, and I'm like, hold up, homie, like, we getting too close to home now.
Exactly.
Baltimore City was different back then. They dismissed us, and we caught the Publix bus back home.
That's
MTA.
a surprise to me.
We caught that bus, and you know, cell phones weren't really out like that in 2001. So we were just left to kind of fend for ourselves. Like, Hope you make it.
When it happened for me, I was in Alabama. So to think about things occurring in New York and the Pentagon and Pennsylvania, that seemed like, as a 17-year-old, such a far away place, but yet that impact still made people panic and a little bit afraid, because you're like, oh man, if they're hijacking airplanes, is one gonna hit our school or fall
Exactly.
anywhere closer towards us? But for you to even be up in the DMV area and have all of that happening, I bet it was a way different level of.
It was, because BWI is so close. Like, I am from Baltimore. I'm not from Baltimore County. I am from Baltimore. So I just remember thinking, because I remember going through everything with the DC sniper and just realizing just how close in proximity. I don't think at that point I had ever been to New York, but I had been to DC, and I had been all of those other places. I'd been to DC, I had been to Pennsylvania. So I knew exactly how close those things were. And I just remember thinking, I feel like they're going to come for me. Like, that's the same thing I thought with the DC snipers. Everything just hit so close to home.
Okay. Well, 9/11 is definitely something that Michelle and I won't forget. Other people out there, there were several moments of silence that had occurred for different points in time that towers fell or the 4 hijacked planes had impacted things. And we wanted to make sure that we took the time on this show to remember those people and that event as well.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I want to highlight something here real quick before I acknowledge the comments that we have. We are also live on this platform called AMP. AMP is an Amazon web service platform. It's like hosting your own radio show. So while we're live on video as well, we're also going to be live on AMP. If you are interested in the platform, download it and check it out. I think it's dope to be able to have your own radio show. You can play like your licensed copyrighted music and create a community and have fun. They're not paying us to talk about it. We're just marketing
We just
it.
love it. It's fun. We get to be our own DJ. We get to control our own music, talk to people. So today we decided to do our audio only show and have it stream here. So the AMP audience is able to listen to us. You all are able to see us in our beautiful glory and everything like that. And we about to get into it today because we're having fun today.
Yes, today's about fun. We're going to do something a little bit different, but we'll get into that in a minute. If you're interested in checking us out on AMP, go to AMP, download the application. Right now it's mobile or tablet. It's a mobile or tablet application, and you can look us up on King M.E. So, Michelle, today we titled this thing Monthly Check-In. We freestyling. All right. Ooh, let me catch it. Bow. That's so cheesy. But her and I are both cheesy, and there's gonna be a couple of things.
Wait, pause. Who's cheesy?
Both of us.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Would you not agree with that? Us both being cheesy? Would you not agree with us both being weird?
I will agree with us both being weird. I'm just saying that cheesy one that came a little bit too easy for you. It's like you have been thinking for a while that we both cheesy. I don't. Okay.
And something that we're going to try, we're going to see how this works, is we got a game called Let's Get Deep.
Let's get deep.
Questions for couples. Oh, actually, pause. What is the King M.E show about?
Oh, that. So the King M.E show, we are a couple. Hey, Boo, give me.
Bam.
We're a couple, and we're doing finger touches right now. For those on AMP who can't see, we're playing fingersies. It's not footsies, it's fingersies. We are a couple who came together. We met through a mutual friend over a little over a year ago. And we have come together to share our lives and to continue to learn, love, and grow together. I should have done learn, love, and laugh so that I could have that alliteration. But we've come together to share our lives, and we are up on these streets. And I just got to say streets because we're on the app, we're on the YouTube, we're on the Facebook, wherever you're checking us out. We're on these streets to help people see that there are some positive areas of dating, positive segments. Everything is not all doom and gloom and negative as we see everywhere else. There are some good things, and we want to share that, and we want people to to feel the love that we have for one another. So we up here, spreading it like daisy and everything. Like, do you spread
Daisies
daisy?
get
I was
spread,
just about to say, like, it flew out because
jelly
I
gets
didn't want to
spread.
say germs. Oh, that was a good one. We out here spreading it like jelly. There we go. We out here spreading our sunshine and our love like jelly.
Spread the sunshine. I know
Hey,
it's let the
hey.
sunshine in, but hey.
That
All
was
right.
good though. That flows seamlessly though. So I
Thank you.
like
Thank
it.
you.
I like it.
If there's a like button to be hit the like button on your platform. Let's acknowledge some people that have commented. We got Tarika's in the building who said that she was going to be tapping in today, and she did. She said, "Good evening, King and Queen," and she followed that up with, and this is going to be a little bit difficult, so bear with me. "I'm glad y'all found each other. Y'all balance each other out." I think we
Were you
do.
struggling to see that?
Hold on. Listen, that
He
is
always talks about me
small.
being blind because I wear glasses and he got that perfect 20/20 vision, y'all.
Yeah, but that's like
But
way over
I could see
there.
that.
You closer to it.
It's not because I'm closer.
And your glasses give you that 30,000 vision over there.
Whatever.
But she said that we balance each other out. And I'm not going to disagree with that. She's way more, and I don't say this in a bad way, Michelle is more emotional than I am. She emotes more than I do. And because I have relationships with people, meaning like I'm a father, right? And I am a coworker and other stuff like that. I'm not really a guy that deals in emotions like that. Like I'd rather just be like, all right, what is it that needs to get done? What's supposed to happen? And boom, I'm good to go. Like I don't feel the need, for example, to tell people that I love them all the time. Yet I also have to understand that some people
Like
may need that, or they desire it. And talking about this kind of stuff is things that Michelle and I did early on. So it became a point of let's make sure that we're communicating. And as a perfect lead in, games like this, Let's Get Deep questions for couples, can help people understand each other's communication style and help have a healthy communicative, and I don't know if that's a word, but it sounds like one,
real good.
relationship. So they didn't sponsor us or anything.
They did not.
We just thought
But if you
about
would
it.
like to,
Yes.
King and Me at gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
Thank you.
And we saw it, we liked it, and said, you know what? We've made it a year, almost a year.
Almost a year.
We've made it a year. Don't play footsie. I'm going to get distracted. Then we going to have to turn this webcam off. I'm just saying. But we've gotten this far primarily making sure that we're able to communicate with each other. Mm-hmm. So we want to take the opportunity to showcase that kind of stuff. Okay. We're not doing this just for us. Like she said, one of the purposes about this is to show that it's not just trash out there, but give a way. We're not saying that the way we do things is the only way, but a way that people can communicate. Can you read what she wrote?
I surely can.
Thank you.
So she said, I don't think a person should tell a person every day that they love them. And my love language is quality time. So if you're giving me quality time, that's telling me that you love me. And so I can get with that. I will say for me, I have 3 core love languages: physical touch, quality time, and words of affirmation. Not necessarily in that order. But for me, I need that. And that was something I remember telling my mom. I didn't grow up hearing I love you. If I were to take a guess, my mom, Jamaican woman that she is, her love language was acts of service.
Okay.
And because that's what she did, she believed that going to work, paying the bills, putting food on the table, and all that other stuff was her way of showing that she loved and saying that she loved us. I get that. I'm not knocking that. I'm saying that I did not interpret it as that.
Okay.
For me, I do like hearing the physical words. I love you. That's the words of affirmation. Something like this is the quality time, which means the absolute world to me. And then playing footsies or handsies with you is my way of getting that physical touch. And for me, I need all three. All three keep me going. That's just me.
And that's no different than what you expressed when me and you first got to know each other.
Okay.
And I believe I've been able to give those to you in some form or fashion.
You give it to me in an amazing way.
Right on. Okay.
It's sad because if someone just popped in and all they heard was
You give it to me in an amazing way. Yes. All right, so let's pop this bad boy open.
Okay.
We
All right.
have not
haven't
opened this
opened it,
before. We've
literally,
never
as you
played
can
this
tell.
before, or any version of this particular game. So this is going to be new. Y'all are seeing us opening this live and in living color.
All right, so there are three different sets. There's the icebreaker set.
Okay.
There's the deep set, which has more questions. And then there is the deeper. And altogether, these total 500 questions. What, you want me to pop all of them?
Yeah, you know what? I think what we can do is we can get one of each pile for now, so we can kind of have an idea, and don't just get like one from the top. Maybe grab one from the middle. Here,
So
hand
I
me
was
one.
about to say, I'm gonna give you
Hand me one.
that one because I'm a little special. We gonna have to.
Don't you have?
Look, don't let the
nails?
nails fool you.
Wait, I don't have nails, and all you got to do is just dig in. Bow.
Well, you know what? Some things just come easier for
I thought you was
sir.
about to pull out a knife, and I was like, "Oh man,
Look, my
that's
knife is in the
all
car.
the way Baltimore
Or is
right
it?
there."
My knife is in the car. Okay, my knife is in the car.
All right, I grabbed one from the deep pile.
Just one.
Yes, just one. One from the deeper, one from deep, and then one from the icebreaker. And then we'll see how much the questions just kind of get us talking and go from there.
That's that.
All right.
And then deeper is.
While she's opening this, have y'all out there ever done this maybe on a date? Could you see this as being a first date type of thing? I do.
Yeah.
I do. I think that it could be a very fun first date if you're looking for something more than just physical fun, right? Okay, if you're looking for physical fun, I don't care what you have for breakfast. I don't care what your political leanings are. If I'm just trying to have fun, we don't even need to talk. If we're attracted to each other, we could just be like, your place, mine, or the holiday.
Hotel,
Get it
motel,
cracking.
Holiday Inn. Okay.
But in the situation that if you're trying to date to get to know somebody, if you're not on dating apps, which personally, this is King's opinion, dating apps are starting to be, I don't think it matters if it's Hinge, if it's Bumble, if it's Match. I think 90% of the people that are on dating apps are looking for more physical things than they are for a genuine relationship.
Where you can selfie mode. Hey.
Boom. This is so random. What are you doing?
You know I got ADHD. I just.
All right. So threw off my train of thought. Okay.
And I took 2 bad pictures.
All right.
They're not good of you.
Yeah.
They're not good. I'm so sorry.
Well, I'm not good of me. Y'all, look. I said, I told her the other day. I said,
one, your mouth was open, and the other one, your mouth was open too.
I have a goal of also trying to
All right, so
get Broly. Hold on. Do like this. All right. This is so random. Boom.
Okay,
All right, we
bam.
got the photos.
Yes.
Let's
You
get
ready?
into the icebreaker question.
Okay, let's get into the icebreaker. So I will say, while we've never played this game before, because you literally just saw us open the packet, I had this game on my phone that I got from my homeboy Reggie. He introduced me to it. It is a game called In the Deep or Skin Deep or something like that.
Mhm.
And it asks questions. So you and I would do that sometimes. We would do that kind of at the beginning. But let's get into this icebreaker, okay? Beer, wine, or cocktail. And the hashtag is Let's Get Deep. Beer, wine, or cocktail. What you choosing?
For me, I like a good cider, and the cider classifies as a beer. So when I do have an adult beverage, I'm going with a beer for the most part, followed up with a cocktail, and I like a Moscow Mule. Now, I was telling this to CQ the other day. CQ is a friend of mine. I don't drink as much anymore. It seems like as I've gotten older, there's been a lot more negative effects from it. Even if I'm having, like, if I'm having one, fine. More than one, trouble. So I've steered away from that. And to ask you the same question, Minister Early.
No, he didn't say Minister Early. Okay, so for me, I no longer drink, and it's not necessarily because I hold that title. I stopped drinking for personal reasons. I recognize the effects of substance use in my family, and I decided to stop consuming alcohol. But when I did drink, I would have all three. Closer to the time where I stopped drinking, I was definitely a wine person.
Okay.
I was that person who believed, look, a glass of wine a day is good. Red wine is good for the heart. So I would have it. When I first started drinking, I was more of a liquor person, not liquor, but liquor. I was more of a liquor person.
Liquor.
And then I eventually graduated
Liquor.
to
Never
the
knew her.
cocktails and beers. And then towards the end of my alcohol consumption period, definitely a wine person. Hit me with that nice Cabernet Sauvignon.
When did you stop?
2017.
Tarika said, I don't drink, so I prefer apple sparkling cider. Apple sparkling cider be hitting.
Yeah,
Let me
sparkling
tell
cider
you.
be good. It is. It definitely is.
You said 2017?
Yes.
When-
February 2017.
February of 2017. When you and I first met, you on one of your social media posts had talked about your sobriety as one of the things that you would never give up for anybody. Between 2017 and now, has anybody ever tried to pressure you?
Hopefully not seriously. I've heard, some people try to say, oh, you want to drink or something like that. And I must not have interpreted it as something serious, because if I had, that would have ended that, between me and that person. But no, I don't think anyone's ever seriously tried to come in between me and my sobriety.
Did you ever have a moment of weakness?
Where I wanted to have a drink?
Mhm.
Yes, but thankfully I was never near the drink.
Okay.
Never, ever near the drink. For me, those moments came in moments of stress, because alcohol was a clutch for me. So I would turn to it, not a clutch, a crutch. I would turn to it to be able to kind of get past what I was doing instead of facing those emotions and those feelings. I can be around alcohol all day and be fine. I'm laughing because there are literally bottles of alcohol sitting over there, and I'm still fine. I don't get those desires or those urges anymore. So
when I was getting to know you, that was one of the things that I'm not going to say concerned, but it was a thought of mine.
I would say you were concerned. I would definitely say you were concerned.
I didn't want to drink around you because I'm like, I didn't know how serious it was for you.
It wasn't even drinking around me. You didn't want me to pay for your alcohol.
Yes.
I remember like our first outing, which, started off as one thing and then transitioned into so many other little mini dates in one day. We went out to the Busboy and Poets, and you wanted to get a drink, and I had offered to pay for the meal, and you did not want to let me pay for your drink. You were okay with that, with me paying for the meal, because I had offered to and I wanted to, but you did not want to let me pay for that drink.
I didn't.
Oh my gosh,
I didn't.
hilarious.
Because I took that as, hey, you have when I think of people in sobriety, and this is a little bit of ignorance on my part, I can admit this. When I hear somebody saying that they make a choice to have sobriety, I think and this is wrong of me, but I automatically hear you might struggle with alcohol. So I didn't want you to pay for my drink because I felt as though like that could be a gateway into you drinking. And I'm like, King will not be the one that's responsible for jacking up your sobriety, not doing it.
And see, the thing is, I can laugh about it, but truthfully, I'm grateful for you for thinking like that. But no, for me, it doesn't work that way. Alcohol was something that I had turned to as a way of coping with other things. So something like that would not force me to turn to a drink. So I appreciate you for that. I do.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, I just wanted to check to see if we had anybody on AMP. I'm going to read the deep question
Ooh.
and then see how this goes out.
Okay. No, this. All right, go ahead.
Choose an outfit for your partner to change into. Partner must wear the chosen clothes for the rest of the game. We can't do this.
We can't do that one. Yeah,
exactly.
Clothing is so far upstairs. Okay. You want another deep?
Another deep question. Yes.
Deep.
I have deep. All right. So, okay. I'm going to ask you this question first, and you have to answer it first.
Okay.
What's something you appreciate about your life now that you might not have 10 years from now?
Something that I have now that I appreciate that I may not have in 10 years?
That you might not have 10 years from now.
This is going to sound so bad. Oh, this is going to sound so bad. My current occupation.
Why does that sound? Why did you hesitate with that? Like, why did you have the?
Because I'm a teacher and I love teaching. I'm literally wearing a shirt that says teach, inspire, and love. I am a teacher. I love it. I love being a teacher. I love talking about education. I love educating youth, all of that. But I recognize that in 10 years, I may not be in the classroom anymore. I am willing to yield to God and recognize that I may not be in the classroom anymore. Also, I have this deep desire to live overseas. I really do want to live overseas, at least do a nomadic lifestyle, maybe 3 to 5 years. I do want to do that. So I recognize that 10 years from now, I may not be in the U.S. teaching. And I'm fine with that. I'm at peace with that. And
so am I.
I've said that. It's funny because I've said that to you before, but I've never said it live anywhere, like not on my channel, nowhere. So I'm saying it live on Facebook. I'm saying it live on YouTube. I'm saying it live on AMP now that in 10 years, I would love to be living overseas and doing whatever there. Like I would love to. And it's so funny because I was just thinking, with me having ADHD and, changing careers often, this is the longest I've ever been at any one place. So it's hard to say that, but that's exactly.
Okay. So
but I'm grateful for my job. I love my job. I love my kids.
What's something that I appreciate about my life now that I might not have 10 years from now? It sucks that I say this. I was trying to think of something different, but I'm just going to throw it out on Jump Street. I love my job. Currently, I work from home. I have a remote job. So if I don't have to leave my house for anything that day, I'm good to go. 10 years from now, right? And and really before I continue, I've been with this job in the current capacity since 2017. I think I've been full remote since 2018. So that's 6 years? No, that's 18 to 20, 20 to 23, 5 years. 5 years that I've been remote. And let me tell you, if you are fortunate enough to have a remote job that pays you pretty decent, I don't know how you give it up. Yet for me, in 10 years from now, there's some things that I would like to be doing that I don't know if I'll be able to do, even though my job is remote, because it's federal. There are some things about it being a federal remote job that I may not be able to live overseas with, or live overseas and be able to be remote. But if I do some things right now, which is what I'm trying to do and really hustle and grind individually, I think I'll be set up to where I have the flexibility that in 10 years from now, I'm living overseas with you. And we're enjoying it, So, but it is going to require some changes. I've turned down a job offer that was a promotion because it would have required me to give up my remote position, and I wasn't ready to do it. So I'm appreciative of it now. 10 years from now, if I'm doing something different, I might be like, man, I remember when all I had to do was wake up in my PJs and go to work.
And roll over.
Yep.
Look, and I feel you on that. It's funny that both of us said our jobs, that we're thankful and appreciative of our jobs, but that would be the thing that we may not have in 10 years. Again, it's not that I want to walk away from teaching. That's not what I'm saying.
Exactly.
I'm saying teaching the way that I do now. I've heard of people who teach overseas. I would love to do that. I think it would be hilarious that me, who speaks AAVE, so African American Vernacular English, oh so well, that I would be the person in another country. That's what we say now instead of saying Ebonics. Ebonics is the outdated word. We don't say.
You've talked about this to me.
Yes, it's
I don't
AAVE,
know.
African American
thinking that-
Vernacular English.
Okay, so who made up Ebonics? So if we made up Ebonics and then other people decided that Ebonics was bad or it made us look a certain way, if we then use AAVE and then AAVE is still at root the one thing that is a negative thing,
Look,
I think we're just doing too much. I don't know.
probably AAVE is a lot, but as someone who is fluent in AAVE, I find it hilarious if I were to go over to another country and teach American English. But hey, I want to teach overseas. That is something that I would love to do. I just went and saw My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3 this weekend. No, I can't recommend it. I just went and saw it this weekend. And the only thing I remember thinking throughout the whole movie is, I want to live in Greece. That's all I could remember thinking. And then you and I, we just saw Equalizer 3 not too long ago. And I'm just thinking, I want to live there too. Because that was, it was a little country it was a little town in Italy. I just remember thinking, I want to live there. I want to live overseas. I do.
Why?
Why? I have always believed that God created this big, beautiful, expansive world, and I am limiting myself by only living in America. And that's not to say that there's anything wrong with America, because there are some places that I would love to live in America. But I'm a indecisive person, I guess you can say. And I love variety. So I would love to live in various places for little periods of time and just make my impact there and then travel and go somewhere else.
Okay.
And the water's just absolutely beautiful in Greece. Like, have you seen pictures of Grecian water?
I've been to Greece.
Well, see, there you go. You've been to Greece. Like, you understand. You understand.
I've been to Greece, yes. In my younger 20s and my active duty days, I had several opportunities actually, to be in Greece. And then I spent the good part of my day or time there in the hospital, but that's a story for a different day.
And there was a moment in My Big Fat Greek Wedding where they were at a nude beach, and I'm just like, I want to go. I want to live, and like, I really want to do that.
Okay.
All right, babe, we are going deeper. If you could change one thing about your childhood, what would you change and why?
If I could change one thing about my childhood, what would I change and why? Well, for my childhood, I didn't get the opportunity like I saw other kids doing of playing sports. And I didn't play sports until my uncle, Nathaniel Smith, had gotten out of a confinement situation and saw that me and my brother weren't, doing a part of team sports or anything. And I was always interested in it, but my mom really didn't support us in doing that. And my uncle was one of the catalysts to kind of help get that going. And I turned out to be a pretty decent football player. But I think, what if I had started earlier like some of my other peers did? They had been playing football since they were 7, 8 years old. and they had that fundamental knowledge that was there that I think helped them out. And for me, I'm having to get this accelerated version of football when I'm in the 9th grade. And I felt like I was behind because of that. And for me to be, I'm not going to say great. I was good in high school. I can only think and imagine, what if I had that mindset a little bit earlier, just 3 or 4 years ago when everybody else started, I could have been that much better. So that's the one thing that I could go back in my childhood to change and why. Other than that, everything else was good. Oh, the other thing, and it has to do with my mom. I hope she's listening. She supports our show and watches this show.
That's why I'm like, what you about to say?
Mother. The one thing that I would also go back and do, I'd rather get whoopings than get yelled at. My mom, oh my goodness. We used to joke that we never understood with as much as yelling that she did for no damn reason sometimes, how she never got hoarse.
As in, don't get hoarse? What are you talking about?
Never. I mean, like, I go to one football game and I'm cheering, and the very next day I'm coming back with a scratchy throat or whatnot, and my mother never had a scratchy throat or a hoarse voice. I would go back and change that too. I'd go back and say, look, just whoop me. Don't yell at me. Whoop me.
Well, see, had you been an angel like I was, you wouldn't have gotten either.
First of all,
I am not lying. Like, I exaggerate a lot, but I literally remember one spanking that I got. I don't even know what it was for, but it was just one. Because I remember distinctly, I was a teenager, so I was somewhere in the high school. I am so serious.
Don't worry about me. You tell your story.
So I was in high school. I don't remember what I did or what happened, but I was in the shower, minding my Black-owned business, okay? My mother came in the shower. She pulled back that shower curtain, and she slapped the mess out of me. And you know it hurts, okay? When you get slapped, when you wet.
Time out. Pause. What? You got jacked up while being in the shower?
Naked. By my
That's
mother.
A whole level of dirty.
I don't know. I don't remember what I did. And at this point in life, I don't think it matters. But I distinctly remember that. I don't know what I did or what happened, but I distinctly remember that. And that was the one spanking that I remember my whole life. Like, other than that, I was angelic, okay? There was a whole halo just wrapped around my head.
Whatever.
I'm so fine. You know what? You don't believe me? Ask my mama. But that was the one I remember. That was the one I remember.
I will ask Miss Janet.
So the question is, if I could change one thing in my childhood, I think similar to you, the one thing that I would change is I would commit to something. I played the flute. Not that long, which is why we had to have the long pause. That pause was probably about how long I played the flute. And I could have been good. I don't know. But I dropped out because I was getting bullied by someone who is now actually a good friend of mine. But I was getting bullied, and I didn't want to deal with it anymore. And I had so many other things going on that I was just like, I don't have the bandwidth for this. So I'm going to quit. I'm out, I'm going to go.
And let me clarify something. I wasn't bad. My mom just fussed for no reason.
No. I get that. And you're talking to someone whose mom is Jamaican, so trust me, I heard the fussing. I was a baby of 5 kids. I heard the fussing. My mom would fuss a lot too, but the fussing wasn't directed towards me. You as the oldest, the fussing probably was just naturally coming to you. Me as the baby, and with everything that had gone on in my life, fussing didn't necessarily come my way. Things were forgiven of me a lot sooner than they were forgiven of the other 4, which was probably why the other 4 had issues with me, but that ain't my problem.
Okay.
Maybe ain't fair. I don't know what to tell you.
All right. Shout out to Miss Cheryl. I do love and respect my mother, but she was somebody that fussed for no damn reason half the time. Not all the time, actually majority of the time. Mother.
So do we want more icebreakers? Do we want to go deep or do we want to go deeper?
Let's do another round of each cards.
Okay.
All right. So that's the
choose
icebreaker.
Yep.
All right. Go out or stay in.
Go out or stay in?
Mhm.
I'm a stay in person.
Me too.
So we actually had the opportunity to do this weekend. This past Saturday, King and I were supposed to finally go on this fancy pants date, and we were supposed to get like all dressed up. So I'm vegan, so it's harder to find dressy places for me. So I went through the whole Facebook group asking, where's a good place for fancy pants vegan food? And we found a restaurant, and we were supposed to go last month, but King was sick. So we pushed it out to this past Friday, and we were supposed to go. But the day before, I was like, so I'm really doing this. You want to do something else? And instead of going out, he came over and we chilled and we watched football. We both did stuff. We participated in the AMP marathon for E-Man, and we just chilled, except for the one time where we left to go get food from various places as we were trying to dodge the thunderstorm. We just stayed in and we chilled, and I loved it. It was a far better day than, well, not that it was a far better day. I will say it ranked up high on one of our best days together.
It was a good
I
day.
absolutely loved it.
It was a good day, and my answer is the same. I am a stay-in person as well, and I was going to ask anybody that's listening, are y'all a go-out or stay-in person? And what if you match with somebody, or let's say that you were dating somebody and y'all were attracted to each other? How would you address that in y'all's relationship if one person was a go out person and the other person was a stay in person? Do you try to make that work still?
I
Do
was
you
just about to say
sacrifice?
that's a sticky one. And the reason why I say that's a sticky one is because if one person is a stay at home person and the other person is a go out person, that's going to clash.
Mm-hmm.
That's
It
going to
is.
clash.
That's something that I realize now that I'm older. That is, it's not a small thing.
It's not at all. And people, there are some things that you can differ in and still find a way to maneuver around it. But if one person is more of a homebody, like more of a I'm okay with staying in, and the other person's like, let's go out, that is going to be a crux in the relationship. I look at us and I think, can we both go out? We sure can. We're both social people. But when it boils down to it, both of us can stay inside and be coochie. Coochie Maine up in these streets, okay? Like we'll totally we'll totally be fine. And I can't imagine what it would be like if you and I, if one of us was one and the other was the other. We both were like, maybe it's because we're older.
Yes.
And we did all that stuff already. You think that could be it?
No, I think that you understand what you choose to do for somebody else and then what you naturally just like. Like I'm aware of a couple that didn't make it because they had that dilemma, and one person acquiesced because they wanted to make the other person happy. And then when they changed to, I want to be home, I want to be home, I want to be home, their partner was like, wait, that wasn't how you were when you and I first met. And she said, well, I was trying to make you happy.
And I figured, I didn't know who you were talking about, but I figured that was the case, that the person who wanted to stay home gave in and always went out when in reality they had no desire to be out. I figured.
And that particular couple was married at the time, and their marriage ended, but that wasn't the reason. In my opinion, what the reason primarily is they didn't do what we're doing now. And I wanted to make sure that as we were getting to know each other, we were hot with one another. Now,
honest, open, and transparent. Shout out to the real precious.
And I felt as though you were, because that's the other part too, is how can you be sure that somebody's being honest with you? How can you be sure that somebody's being open? How can you be sure that somebody's being transparent? Because people will tell you what they think you might want to hear to get with you. Then what? Then when it's time to get real, how do you manage past that?
For me, I look at it like I did my partying in my 20s. Part of the reason why I had a delayed career is because I partied too daggone much in my teen years, my first 2 years at college, and I partied too much in my 20s.
People can see you rubbing your feet.
Well, first of all, my feet are low cold, so they getting a little bit of warmth from yours. If they got some issues, you my man. You not theirs. You my man. We
All
good.
right.
You good?
I'm good. I
All
just
right.
wanted to
Then
make
we
sure
good. Y'all ain't got nothing to say. This my
that
man. I'm
you would
rubbing my feet with
know.
him. Okay. Okay. Thank you. But no, I I did my partying and I'm good. I'm 37. Okay. I'm not saying I'm old and decrepit, although that is what my students will say. You know what? First of all, can we take a high school pause real quick? Why them kids, they were in class today, right? And they were making fun of another student's age who was born in, I think, 2007 or 2008 or something. And they were like, can you imagine being born in 2008? Can you imagine being born in 2008? So then I came over like an idiot and walked right in and said, can you imagine being born in a year that begins with a two? And then they all fell out laughing and they were like, you walked right
Nice.
into that. And I was just like, in my head, it was different. Like it played out different. But oh man, them kids.
Hmm.
Give me every single
Hmm.
time. But I did all my partying when I was younger. And I am fine with now enjoying moments of just quality time. Like even this to me, are there some times where I'm like, oh, let's go to a movie or let's go ride or stand next to a roller coaster like we're riding it, but we don't actually have to go get
Oh
on
no,
it.
we need to go in on it. Need the thrill
I
together.
didn't tell you the part where I will get on a roller coaster, but we got to go on like the pirate ship first so that my stomach can adjust to roller coaster rides.
Cool. As long as we doing it.
I'm there. But see, then there's that thing where like you just want to have an adventure with a person.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have adventures with you, but naturally, yes, I am someone who is an introvert. I'm an extroverted introvert, so I have my extroverted moments, but truthfully, I am an introvert. I love coming back to center and I love bonding experiences. So if it's a bonding experience, sure, I'll do it. Other than that, yeah, I'm Gucci with staying inside.
Tarika said, it depends. I like to enjoy life and that you should compromise if one of y'all, if you would match with somebody that's different. Can you compromise for life is the question.
Right. And then where does the compromise end to the point where neither one of you are getting your way? I would say if you're a person who likes to go out all the time and you're with someone who does not, that's not going to work out. I don't think it will. I don't mind being out sometimes. I will put on the social thing, but I do, my battery does get drained. I've recharged by being home. And I feel like that's something that you and I saw together. We were able to come together and do things differently and find ways of working and bringing things together. Did it cut off? Because I feel like I don't.
No, it said that there are issues connecting to the show. It looked like it's on my side, but it's fixed.
Okay.
We're good to go.
So for me, you and I, we're able to find that medium and find that balance. We go out, we'll do stuff, we will be social. You're literally in a club that has social in it. I'm in various things. But I think because you and I were so busy with our jobs and the other commitments that we have, that if we get the opportunity to just sit back and chill like we did on Saturday, it's like, yeah, this is fine.
I want to tell you something. People think that you and I spend all of our time together.
That is so funny. Like,
We
that cracks me up every
don't.
time someone says that. Like, my line sisters are like, oh, I don't see you and everything like that. And one of my friends, she joked and said, well, yeah, ever since you got a boo. And I'm just like, but we're not always together.
Nope.
The difference is when we are together, we photograph it or record it.
And show it.
But we're not always together. And then some of the times when we are together or when we've recorded a moment together, it's literally like a 10-minute span. Like there'll be days that I may not see you or like hang out with you, but I'll drive by and get a kiss and then keep on going about my Black-owned business.
Literally, that's it.
That's
Come by
it.
for a kiss. Good to see your face. Bye.
And then sometimes we may photograph those moments, and it may get posted, so it may look like we're always together, but we're not. We're
No,
not. We're not.
It
That's
is
funny.
hilarious that people think that. And then too, because you and I do stuff like this, because we have been, in my opinion, in sync with each other, people think that we've known each other for a while. I've gotten that from various people too.
I don't correct people when they think that.
I do.
I know. I'm just like, you go ahead.
I do. We have a couple of more minutes here, and I think we could get
What time
two
is
more
it?
questions. It's 7:50. So
No, it's not. Are you
7:50.
serious?
7:50.
According to my water, it's only
Oh,
12
baby.
o'clock.
When did you feel that up?
Last night.
Oh, we used to be so good.
We used to be so good. I forget who it was. I think one of my coworkers saw this today, and they were like, "Oh man, you're doing that?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then I was talking to another student about it, and I was like, "Look, let me tell you. When I first did this, like I could definitely do not when I first, but put it this way. According to my water, it's only 12 o'clock. Okay. According to my water, I'm still supposed to be."
Tarika said she's never been the party type. Look, next time I go down south, Tarika,
We gotta go party.
we have to link up for sure. There's a lot of places around your area that are really good to do, and I can't wait. I'm looking forward to the next time that I'm down your way. So this is a deep question. Let me keep these to see if you're able to ask it.
What's your favorite thing to do during your time off or the weekend?
I'm not going to say sleep. But because as I get old, rest is important. If I'm off, nothing to do, I'm gaming. That's not a secret for Michelle, but if you're new and you're getting to know me, I like the game. On Mondays, I don't do it because I got this live stream. I roll right into another live stream a little bit after here. But the rest of the week, I try and get about 30 minutes to an hour in the evening of gaming. So it's how I relax. It's, how I decompress. And I do it with some really awesome people. So gaming.
That's what's up.
How about you?
For me, it's one of two things. I either like to, if I'm not, I go in rest mode. So because I do so much, like tomorrow, I have work. After work, I have my AMP live stream. And then after that, I have a meeting at 4:30. And then I'm one of the senior class advisors. So we have senior parent night tomorrow night. And then there's Bible study also on Tuesday. Like I have so much that I do. The reality is I probably won't make it to the Bible study. But I have so much that I do that when I am off, I like to unwind by binging TV just to kind of check my mind out of everything. But then if there's something that's on my heart, I'll go and I'll write. So I love to write. Speaking of which, did you read my Monday message for today?
I did, but before anything else, what shows are you binging?
So
Like,
right
or what
now,
type of shows?
Before I took a nap upstairs on your couch, I was watching Virgin River season 5,
Not
and
familiar
then
with that.
it's on Netflix. I pick random shows, so I just binge watched the whole 5 seasons of FBI because like that's me as a person. And then we watched Lioness together. Speaking of which, the woman on Lioness, one of the Alia from Lioness, she was in My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Good
So
deal.
that was interesting to see her there. But I'll just binge a television show, and that's how I eat. That's my way of decompressing because I can check out and go into their reality for a little bit.
Tarika said if we do hang out, she's not doing roller coasters.
Is that like a hard no?
Is it a hard not doing it?
Like, could we talk you into it some way, shape, or form?
Hey, the last time I was down your way, I went to the Autobahn. It's like a big arcade place. I thought it was appropriate for all ages. Maybe that's something that we could go out and do.
And go to Slutty Vegan.
Oh, yeah. Slitty Vegan is down in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
All right. We got time for one more question, and it should be a deeper one.
Deep.
And let's go here and do this, and then we're gonna close out the show.
Okay.
We can't do that one.
Oh, wait, let me see.
I'll let you see it. We can't do that one. So let me draw another one.
That was funny though.
There's a Yeah, we can't do that one. Yeah, let me just
I feel like we should just say it.
Bruh, where's it at? No.
I mean, we can do that too. We can do that one too. All right. So the original question that he got was, "What's your least favorite sex position?" I have no problem saying this on air.
I didn't either, but I wasn't sure.
But I want to do it at the same time.
Ooh, okay. So let me think about this one. So let's put this one back because I don't
No,
think.
we can still do this one.
Are we gonna have time?
Yeah, we'll have time because we're just gonna do this real quick. We're gonna do like a rock paper scissors thing and just shoot. So rock paper scissors
and then say it.
And then say it. Yeah.
Okay. So the question is least favorite sexual position. Let me think. All right. Okay.
All right, you ready? Rock, paper, scissors, missionary. Oh man, I think I dropped the phone.
All right. Okay. Yes, that is my least favorite.
Okay.
All right.
This question. How would your parents describe you?
My mom would describe me as hard-headed, stubborn, but looks out for people. My dad would probably say the same thing, actually. He would probably say the same thing. As a matter of fact, I'm going to ask him, and then I'm going to put that on our social medias.
Okay, I'll ask my dad because my dad will at least answer. My mom will just smile. But I feel my mom would say that I am a social butterfly. I feel like my mom would say I was a social butterfly and that I'm always doing something.
That's another one.
But that I'm not. But she wouldn't be saying that like as a compliment. I think she would be saying it more as she hasn't like tied herself down to anything. So she's always doing something, kind of always jumping around. Because my mom has been there for all of my 75 million career changes. And then I feel like my dad would say that I was very artistic and that I was caring and very gifted because my dad would see my photography and he would comment on my photography and that type of stuff. So I feel like he would say that I was gifted, and I feel like my mom would say politely that I was scatterbrained, but she wouldn't say the word scatterbrained. She would use every single synonym for scatterbrained except for that. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Interesting. All right. I am curious what your dad would say. So when you get the opportunity.
Let me text him. He may not respond right this minute, but let me text him and ask.
Okay.
So, Dad, how would you describe me? Okay.
When you do, okay, so you're doing that now. I'm going to read the comments and then we're going to prepare to close out the show. Tarika said, well, come on then. All right.
Look,
we're going to
go to Slutty Vegan. We're going to get us some good vegan food from one of my sorors, Pinky. We're going to go down there. We're going to support her business and we're going to go eat. And then we can go and we can travel and we can go to Martin Luther King's church and go across and just check out everything. Check out where he was buried. Because you know me, like,
see,
if
she
I'm
gets excited about this history stuff. I don't. I'll go, but I don't get excited like that.
That's where he and Coretta are buried. Like, we can go and because it's water there too, so we can go and we can check it out and we can have fun and we can do all the historical walks and everything. And again, go to Slutty Vegan, get some good food and have fun.
Again, don't mind doing it, but you perked up talking about that. I'm like, I'll do it. But I don't have that same level of perking that you do.
And here's where our differences come in, but it's so beautiful. You say, let's go down south to visit people. I'm like, all right, bet. My mind goes, what food is there? Like, first of all, what food is there? B, what random historical trip can we turn this into and go check it out while we're down there? That's where my mind goes. You go for the adventure. I go for the history, but we go together.
Boom.
Boom. Oh, wait, I think my dad, he responded, but he said, how would you describe me? In general, in a word or two, In a word or two.
How would you describe her?
How would you describe me?
Before we close the show, this is something that we can probably have an episode on. Oh, actually, let me stop there. This is the first time that we've done this freestyle mode, monthly check-in. And as you could tell, it went well, in my opinion. At least I think it did for her too, because she was even surprised at the time. Like, wait, it's 40 after? So the time definitely flew. I like this. We should definitely do this monthly.
Yeah.
Okay. And I have one more question for you before we close out our live stream.
Okay.
What's your longest relationship been? But before you answer, let me tell the people why I asked this.
This sound is buffering, just so you know.
Okay. So I was in a 14-year marriage. 12 and a half of them were good. Okay. And that's the longest relationship that I've been in that was one committed relationship. Michelle has expressed and said that she's a monogamous type woman, and she was never married. So you and I have talked about it, but you know how my memory is. What was your longest relationship? 2 years. So would you count 10/20 as the first day for ours? So if we make it to 10/20/24,
Next year.
that'll be 2 years for us. Okay. What would officially make it the longest? Like, was yours 2 years and some months? Was it exactly 2 years? Like
2 years and a month. So it would be essentially the end of November 24.
So we got to make it to Thanksgiving.
Essentially.
Okay. Interesting. I'll just leave it at that.
You know I want to know why you asked that.
And-
you know I want to know why.
And because I know you want to know why,
That's exactly why you won't tell me.
this has been another episode of the King M.E Show. Whether you're listening to it on AMP or you're watching us on video, we appreciate y'all tuning in. There might be a little bit of a delay because Tarika said that her least favorite position was doggy style. That's my favorite position.
Look, so the reason why I wasn't afraid to answer that question is because in no way, time, shape, or form have I ever stated that I have never done that before.
Okay.
So, I was okay with saying that.
I wasn't sure, and the reason why I was like, we can skip that one is with your profession and things, which, look, I was 16 once. I know what 16-year-olds talk about and do.
And if you don't know, come to me.
So, but I didn't want to answer a question or go in a place that would have, like come back and have somebody like, hey, so Miss Shirley, I saw that. You know what I'm saying? And kids are stupid.
I will say this. I am very open about my life, and you don't know if I'm talking about that currently or if I'm talking about things that have happened to me in my past life. So,
okay.
There you go.
All right. Well, this has been another episode of the King M.E Show. Be sure to follow our social medias on Facebook and YouTube as we put up other content throughout the week. Not just clips of this show, but stuff that we choose to share with people and things of that nature. We are live every Monday-ish for the most part, unless something occurs.
Monday-ish, yes.
At 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern. I like this style. We'll have a monthly check-in in October. We should do it. What day is the 20th on?
It's the Friday.
It's on a Friday?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's have our next monthly check-in the Monday before.
Before? Okay.
Let's do the Monday before. Okay. Yeah. And I know that you're still stewing about why I said what I said. Don't worry about it, babe. I'm just forward thinking over here. But before we go to Tarika said something, can you bring that up on your phone and read it so that we can acknowledge it real quick?
What's funny is her answer to doggy style is not showing up on my phone. But she said her mom would say that she's stubborn, helpful, and smart. And her dad would say that she's a social butterfly. Let's see. I'm so right about my dad. So here, you read what my dad wrote.
Okay, so she said
My dad. That's my dad.
that her dad. My bad. Let me change that because in my mind I was thinking one thing. He said about Michelle, how would to the question, how would he describe her in 1 or 2 words? He said unlimited creativity.
I told you.
Which is true. Which is true.
I told you.
So I think that these questions are dope. On a normal episode, we're maybe gonna have 1 or 2 questions just to open up the live stream.
Okay.
And then we're gonna go more into whatever the subject's about. So I just want to make sure that the viewers and listeners just kind of knew that going forward.
Rika, I don't think I said it, but your dad said that he would say you're a social butterfly, helpful,
You did.
smart, and a nerd.
You did.
Okay.
You a nerd? Like Dungeons and Dragons nerd?
D&D. You know my high school started a D&D club?
I was born in the wrong age. You got cell phones in schools. You got all these other cool clubs, Dungeons and Dragons club. Look, I'm a nerd. Whatever. It is what it is. She still likes me.
Oh, I do. I think you handsome. Okay, you so handsome.
All right, let's end this live stream, Michelle, and get to going because we have things to do.
We got things to do, people to see. What's the other one?
Lips to kiss. We out.
Ooh, lips to kiss. All right.
Peace.
See y'all.
Peace.